In nature, nothing is wasted. Yet we humans create a huge amount of waste, and that includes our food waste. In the UK and France, we create 10 million tonnes of food waste each year. And that ends up in landfill and in incinerators, much to the detriment of our planet. Rather than adding to this, we have developed a system to completely cut food waste out of our business. Absolutely no food scraps from our chalets, our kitchens or our home are thrown away. Now that we've navigated this system change, we can reveal the key stages of making our business entirely free of food waste. When it comes to our menus, we consider nature, the seasons and what's available. We work with our local suppliers to cut down on processing and food miles. We grow herbs and potatoes and other vegetables in our garden, and then we pickle or store or freeze these to use them at various points throughout the year. We opt for multi-use items which can be used up in one or a bunch of dishes, which is where the creativity of our brilliant chefs come in.
Hi, my name's Sive and I'm the head chef here at AliKats, and I'm also co-author of the book Sustainable Kitchen, and here are some top tips for reducing food waste in your kitchen at home. 50% of all bread produced in the UK is actually wasted. Of course, plenty other options: bread and butter pudding, breadcrumbs, croutons. Here in the prep kitchen we make pan grattato, which is a lovely poor man's parmesan, which is like a herby breadcrumb to sprinkle over your pasta. So here in our professional kitchen, but also in your home kitchen too, you might find you sometimes end up with too many herbs if you buy a whole bunch. But there's always something you can do with them. We sometimes chop them up and freeze them. You could even blend them into an oil or a pesto, freeze those as well if you're not going to use it immediately. But with a pesto, if it's with garlic and salt and under oil, it will keep for a long time in the fridge. Or you can make them into a herb oil, as we do here with the wild garlic that's around at the moment in the spring. Just blitz it up and strain it. Up to 1.4 million bananas are wasted a day in the UK.
1.4 in a day?
1.4 million a day. But there are plenty uses for bananas, not just when they look like this. When they start to get dark spots on them, they're extra delicious, they're really sweet, but they are great for obviously the usual banana breads, banana smoothies, chopping into porridge. But if you don't have time to use them there and then, you can actually peel them, chop them up, throw them in a bag in the freezer and use them at a later date, and they make a delicious dairy-free single ingredient ice cream. If you have a good blender, chuck your chunks of frozen banana in a blender and it will make delicious banana ice cream, or we call it mice cream. And here at AliKats, Al and Kat have told us that they even use the skins of their bananas and soak them in water, and then the potassium comes out of the skin and you can use it to water your plants and give them some extra nutrients.
Once our chefs have finished their magic in the central kitchen, our food is then delivered, plated up and served to our guests in the chalets. Our chefs feed over 1,000 guests throughout the winter season. That's a lot of food. And as much as we try to gauge appetite, there's inevitably going to be food left over at the end. The good news is, it's all circular, and that means we can add all of that food waste back to the natural environment. And that includes meat bones and even stinky cheese. First, we feed what we can to our chickens, and then the rest goes into 2 bins. The first bin is for fruit, veg and tea leaves, and that goes straight into the compost. In the second bin goes meat, dairy and fish, and that's done by anaerobic digestion, which happens in big green airtight bins. And we add bokashi starter, which accelerates the breakdown of that material. After a minimum of 2 weeks, in fact for us it's more like 2 months, we can then take that material out of the bins and add it to our compost pile where it can continue breaking down further. We eventually then add that compost back into our garden to be used for the next growing season. And that closes the loop. It's not perfect, but it gives us a way of reducing our environmental impact. It allows us to respect nature, and our plan is to get better at it each year.